Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. Today's news is insane. We have 2 incredible Legend of Zelda runs coming at you today, and I bet you did not even know. I bet that this is the first time that you're hearing about it. And so I'm going to tell you about it. Today is the Oops All Zelda preview show. This weekend here on GDQ Hotfix, Saturday, Sunday, we are showcasing a ton of the Legend of Zelda video games runs. We're doing a lot of speed runs and different fun runs here this weekend for Oops All Zelda. But today we have two incredible runs. We have Echoes of Wisdom All Dungeons with Ice Blue, and we have Breath of the Wild. Is where we will be doing the same exact category and the same exact run, but with 4 people, 4 insane runners going at it to see who's the fastest during Oops All Zelda weekend. So we are going to get into it here, and I want to get started here. So Ice, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing wonderful.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. We also have Glenn. Glenn is another runner for this weekend. Glenn, how are you?
Hello. Hi, I'm doing all right.
Amazing. So before we get right into this run here, I kind of want you to give me a little bit of a rundown, not only what we're going to see today, but a little bit of what you're prepping for this weekend's run, this weekend's race, should I say?
So all dungeons is basically as the category implies, we have to complete all dungeons. So all dungeons have to be in a completed state before we can head into the final dungeon and defeat the final boss. And we're gonna do that in a way that the game doesn't like us to do it. And it introduces some pretty funny scenery when you do this run. It's actually really cool. But I'm excited to show this off. There was a major glitch that was found day 1 of this game releasing, and we've since learned how to control it. We've learned how to just have it send us wherever we want to, and we routed in a way to beat every single dungeon this way.
Awesome. I know you're going to kind of explain it as we go along, but this might be the first Echoes of Wisdom run that people watch. I feel like a lot of people have been kind of slow burning this game. They might have finally finished. So why don't you just give a little bit of a rundown on some of the major things that they're going to see before you get into it. And I know Glenn can probably talk about that too.
So we have a very specific echo routing to which we only grab the things that we need. We purchased 1 potion in the run just because upgrading is a lot slower, and we're going to be doing kind of a world tour in the beginning, after we beat the first dungeon, to grab waypoints. And the reason that we're grabbing these waypoints is we're going to be utilizing those waypoints to wrong warp into every single dungeon to complete them. And then we also just wrong warp into the the final area.
Awesome. All right. I think I'm ready. Are you ready?
Glenn, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ice, I was going to ask Glenn if Glenn was ready, but you did it before. Can I?
All right. Well, welcome to the Ice Blue Show. Hello. Here we have Jiggy on comments.
All right, I'm on commentary. I've beaten this game exactly 1 time so far. It's going to be great. Go get all the cat costumes. There's 2.
Yeah, that takes too long. There's a lot of stuff you have to go out of your way to get.
But amiibo.
I don't have amiibos.
Oh, okay. All right, let's get into it. You ready?
All right, Glenn, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, ja. All right, so Echoes of Wisdom. It was marketed as a Zelda game, but it's actually a game where you play as Link. So you have this cutscene here, and it's going to introduce the main character of the game, Link.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're gonna beat Ganon and save Zelda. Just like any Zelda game. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I was very excited to play a Zelda game, but then proceeded to get another Link game. So, hopes were shattered, dreams were crushed.
I don't know. I got really excited when this part of the game started. I was shocked.
Oh no, this part has epic music. I love this little section.
Yeah, this is a good little section here. It's just kind of a little section to go through, teaches you some basic mechanics and stuff. Link is all souped up, ready to face Ganon.
Yeah, you have like the 20 heart containers, level 2 sword. I don't know why it's not level 3, but hey.
Because he has a skill issue?
Yeah, skill issue, didn't have enough mic crystals, simple. Alright, so there's a lot of like micro, like we've sort of just like micro optimized this entire section. There's like a couple of things that you can do that are probably a little bit faster. But it saves maybe like a few frames here and there. The biggest thing is we don't want to get a bad angle on Ganon, which I've been having a skill issue myself lately with.
Yeah, so this Ganon fight, unlike most Ganon fights in Zelda games, we're going to use bombs against him. Bombs are really powerful in this game.
Yeah.
In this case, with the level 2 gear that Link has here, bombs do
24?
3 times the damage.
Yeah, they do a lot.
The sword does. Now, they take a while to detonate, but you can shoot them with an arrow and then they'll blow up instantly. So Ganon, his patterns are fixed here. He doesn't do random attacks. So we know exactly where he's going to be. You can start throwing bombs before he even spawns in. Clean fight. All right, game's done.
All right, yeah, that was it. That was the whole show.
Get it? You didn't finish it. You said it. You said game's done, but you didn't say quick. Why didn't you say
you're
it,
way
Glenn?
underestimate Ice.
No, I submitted the estimate at 2:15. My timer says 2:30 when I destroyed Ganon.
Oh, true.
I was overestimate. All right, well, Link is going to get a skill issue here. Hero at time not paying attention to his surroundings, gets absorbed by the void there. Unlucky, unfortunate. But now we're going to get into the actual game. I like this part here because I don't actually have to like mash like buttons. You can actually just rotate the joystick, and Zelda breaks out just as fast as like pressing buttons there.
Yeah. So now we're Zelda. We're gonna be Zelda for the rest of the game.
Clearly the better character. I mean, Zelda doesn't get absorbed by the void there.
Yeah, Link has way too many skill issues in this game.
Does he? Oh goodness. We'll touch up on Link's ability to skill issue himself constantly in this game as we get to that point.
Pretty much at the end.
There's an entire like fight section at the end of the game where Link just sits there in a corner and just gets frozen for like 25-30 seconds.
Yeah, so we got a little escape sequence here. Run away from the rift. It's pretty easy. It actually like slows down if you get too close to it. So,
it took me 2 weeks to figure out this little like crevice here was there, and I was like, huh? I was like, what's that doing there? Because I never actually thought to like use top-down mode for this, just so I could see if there was like any like little sneaky spike spots in between like the boulders.
yeah, so we got a lot of cutscenes coming up here now. So you can just talk a bit more about the run as a whole, I guess. So as we talked about before, this game has wrong warping, which we're going to use to access most of the dungeons early. So we'll see like a lot of dungeons, not a lot in between.
Yeah, it's just like a constant barrage of like dungeon, warp to the spot to do the wrong warp, dungeon, and then you just rinse and repeat. A couple of times we'll go in between, we'll grab like another waypoint because it's like right there, or one time we go to Luberry and upgrade our weapon.
generally speaking, we're able to wrong warp to waypoints, so we can wrong warp pretty deep into dungeons, like right near the boss. There's always one like right before the boss, pretty much always. But we can't skip the big keys to get into the boss rooms, so we still have to do like a little bit of every dungeon, and a couple of them we actually have to split into 2 parts. So there's still some pretty interesting routing here. It's not just like skip everything and win.
Yeah, there's a couple like cool things that we do, like as far as like tech goes, like getting into like earlier spots for like waypoints, like climbing Mount Eldon. We use a crawl tula to just kind of like climb the mountain with it to grab the Lizalfos waypoint.
Kraltula is one of the best echoes.
I still stand by my flying tile as the best echo. We don't get that.
Flying tile's pretty good.
Flying tile, you can do some crazy jumps with. Like it's fun to watch as somebody who's a pro at that.
That is kind of an interesting point, though. It's like, because we're kind of warping straight to the ends of dungeons, we actually miss out on the opportunity to get a lot of useful echoes that the game kind of like expects you to get along your way. So we have some kind of interesting strategies to make do without those.
Yeah.
Drake, this game takes place before The Legend of Zelda 1. After Link gets fashion pilled.
Yeah, like there's a lot of like interesting tech that we've like kind of like optimized into the run for like glitchless. Like we've just started like optimizing in like tile jumping. So you can kind of gain like infinite height with flying tiles. And we've routed in a lot of that, and it's made like a lot of dungeons just so nice looking to see, like with just the flying tile echo. Also, we didn't kind of touch up on this. We play this game in German because much like Link's Awakening on the Switch, German has fewer text boxes. Specifically in this game, German has 1 less text box per waypoint that we grab. And since we go about grabbing about, I want to say like 10 waypoints, 12 waypoints, we get
quite a few.
Yeah, we get a lot of less text boxes there.
Yeah, so it saves a few seconds over English. It's not like as drastic of a difference as Link's Awakening was, but it's still worth it. And there's like a couple fewer text boxes in other cutscenes, like this one I think has like a couple fewer. Yeah, it's just kind of like the introductory cutscene explains like the premise, what's going on. So we got these rifts opening up all around Hyrule, swallowing people up, things like that.
Yeah, like that poor lady just like instantly gets destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the lady who is not referred to anything other than wife. The guy just calls her wife, like not even my wife, just wife.
Look, this is the downfall timeline. We know that they gave up on names in this timeline. A Link Between Worlds has got like Spear Boy, Thief Girl, like there's a lot of them.
Hey, but hey,
Thief Girl's pretty
wife has a big role in this run though.
Yeah, she's actually very useful to the speedrun.
she actually saves us about 45 seconds.
Thank goodness.
We'll get to that when we get there. But she's involved in a trick called cave skip, which there's a cave in the very first still world that we enter. That you have a forced like Zol fight in there, and then you also have to like jump across like a cavern with a couple of keys in there to hit a switch and open a door. We completely skipped that cave by using that NPC's face. We just kind of like jump on
her face.
Yeah, we just kind of jump on her face and just build.
It'll make more sense when we get there. Yeah, so Zelda got locked up. The king and the 2 advisors or whatever got sucked up into the rift and then became sussy imposters. And yeah, King said, "Arrest my daughter."
And now we get I don't know, is this Navi or Tattle?
Navi or Tattle.
I wish.
I don't.
The important thing is we almost get to play the game again soon.
talking about? Zelda just spun in a circle for 10 seconds.
But yeah, we're gonna get the tri-rod here, which is like the most important item, and it sets up allowing you to use echoes, which is like the main mechanic and gimmick of this game, where you can like make copies of various objects and enemies to get around and fight and all that.
I absolutely adore that Tri like goes through the bars and is like, "Come on, follow me, Zelda," and you're just like standing there like,
yeah. Tri takes a while to understand that you can't walk through walls. He's like, follow me straight down into the sand. Oh, you can't do that?
Well,
yeah, so
we can technically in this run.
Yeah, so we got the table echo here. Overall, like as I said, we do kind of carefully plan out the echoes we get here, and we skip a lot of things because it does take about 5 or 6 seconds to get a new echo. So unless like it actually is going to serve a specific purpose, we don't bother with it.
Also,
the table we need to get out of here. So
also, yeah. whatever the king is paying all these guards, he needs to cut it in half.
Yeah, these guards have skill issues.
Like, I thought my vision was bad, but Jesus.
So we get to the guard section, kind of just like direct as possible, not like running around stuff. Just use tables to get over things.
Like this guard here needs a pay cut.
So here, you just make a table, and then the guard's like, "Oh, what? A table?" And then you run past him.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, desperately need of a pay cut. I've never seen somebody like jump on a table and just get absolutely confused like where someone went.
I don't know. I cut them some slack. I think that they are more interested in why a table appeared in out of thin air, you know?
So here we find out that nobody here can actually see Tri, except for Zelda. We don't know why only Zelda can see Tri.
They don't really explain it. I think it's just like to explain why people can't recognize Zelda. Because like if they could see Tri, then they'd be like, oh yeah, the person with Tri following them is Zelda. I don't know. Something.
I just assumed goddess powers.
Could be. I'm just more confused by the fact that Zelda puts on a hood and somehow she's just not even recognizable anymore, despite wearing the princess crown.
Don't
Putting
you
on the hood
know?
also unlocks a very cool mechanic, which is we get to spin with R. Which, if you've played Paper Mario, it's kind of like the same thing in that. You just kind of spin, lets you move a bit faster. It can also like block some enemies and attacks and stuff. We don't really use it for that in the run. It's mostly just to move a bit faster.
We do use a lot of spinning though. This is echoes of twirling.
Yeah.
But
the movement feels super fluid in this game.
All I was gonna say was just Ice. Don't you know that you can literally sneak past anybody? You are totally incognito, actually anonymous, if you wear a hood.
True.
Mm-hmm. Even the government won't know who you are. I'm not talking. Chat. Do not put on a hood and try to commit tax fraud. Okay. I'm not condoning this. Don't do it.
Yeah, so we can use spinning to cross slightly longer gaps, give you a slightly faster jump if you jump like right after spinning. And we get the most useful echo in the game, which is the bed. I did not know you could jump across the tree like that.
Yeah,
it's the best to me. It's the best echo.
Yeah, the bed, like it's kind of a meme. Like it seems like a meme, but it's actually like core movement tech. Like the devs like really expect you to use this everywhere.
Okay, wait. Do you really think so? This is a real question. Do you think that they expected everyone to use the bed? Or
I think so.
Okay. Because I thought it was like a meme that they I don't know. I saw a pretty funny TikTok that was just like Echoes of Wisdom developers realizing the bed is too OP, and it was just like them saying, not only can you defy physics, but you can also heal with it. What?
I think the coolest thing that we had ended up like finding like early on, which we thankfully don't use in the run anymore because the trick is also very garbage. We found a way. So if you use the bed and the tornado echo, the big like the little tornado guy from the desert, you can actually do something called bed launching, which it just throws the bed like 50 feet in the air and it just launches you in a random direction. But the problem with it. The problem with it, it's completely RNG on like which direction you go, and us as speedrunners, you know, we don't want to just randomly lose 10 seconds because our bed threw us in like the opposite direction that we wanted to go.
Is it really RNG? I thought it was.
Sure is.
I thought it was the way you're facing backwards.
You would think that,
because that's what I thought it was. When
I've definitely like been like on like a sideways throw, and it threw me like to the left or to the right.
Interesting.
And I was like, huh?
Important moment there. Zelda suddenly realizes she has to be an independent adult.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah, that's the worst.
All right, buddy. See, there we go. Oh, he's gonna break him. Oh no. Okay, not even close.
Let's pick up our first enemy echo here, the urchin.
We're also gonna pick up this one rupee because it's in my way.
Yep, we gotta love that rupee cutscene. You're basically guaranteed to get a green rupee somewhere, so it just kind of happens.
I love when we get it in like the garden trying to jump into the well.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
It's also slightly faster to jump up ladders than it is to just like normally climb them.
Pick up some money here. We're gonna use to buy a potion later. It's just pretty fast to get that one.
Yeah, that one's like right there.
Yeah, so we're kind of out of that like initial intro area, and we're gonna be heading towards the first dungeon now. First try makes us activate this waypoint here. You have to get it. The waypoints are like warp points that you can warp to. We have to go first to Blueberry's house, which is like half in this rift here. And the normal path would be this like really roundabout way through the forest, but you can just go over the hill here, and you're right there. And you know, that's Echoes of Wisdom. You just go over your problems.
I swear, like the devs, when they made this game, they were thinking of Link's Awakening speedruns because we have a trick in Link's Awakening that glitches us on top of a tree. Like by using like a chicken and a like.
Yeah, we have a couple ways to get on trees. In this game, it's like, yeah, you can just go on trees.
Like it was a big shout outs to like Grezzo. I'm positive Grezzo did a big shout out to like the speedrunners of Link's Awakening, like with a lot of these like echo usages that we have in this game.
And this is going to be our most used waypoint in the run.
Yeah, that's our most important one because we're going to be utilizing this specific rift after we complete it to pretty much manage our rung warps. Try really loves talking in this game as well.
Yeah, that's a decent number of cutscenes in this game.
I always forget about that text box there. Like whenever I do runs, I'm sitting there like talking to chat, and then like I was like, oh wait, Try has one text box before he opens this rift. All right.
Yeah, and it always throws me off that like the text isn't right away in the rift. You gotta go up the stairs.
All right, so the NPC that we talked about earlier, lady, wife, she's coming up, and we're gonna be using her face as a platform.
Yeah, so you're supposed to go through this cave, like I said before, to get basically on top of a higher area, but we can actually just kind of stack beds and then stack some more beds on this woman's face.
That is definitely a sentence. Oh, well, that's not where I needed you. All right.
There we go.
She did her due diligence. And that's one of the NPCs from the castle. That's a minister left.
Yes, the sign is very useful. We'll see that after this dungeon.
It's funny how the sign is useful, but like in my casual playthrough, I just didn't play it. You know, I never used it.
Did you ever read any of the sign text?
Reading?
Yeah, there's actually really funny dialogue on each of the sign text boxes.
I mean, no, I never. I reading. I often don't read.
Huben Druben. That's a German one. Anyway, here's the first dungeon, Southern Ruins. This dungeon's actually really fun to run through. Like, a lot of Zelda games have kind of a boring first dungeon, but this one's really fun. You just throw a bunch of beds at the spider, and he dies.
Yeah, the way, like, some enemies just die, like, very funny in this game.
But yeah, this tarantula is very useful. It makes, like, a web straight up to the ceiling, and you can climb. So we use it in a few spots, mostly in this dungeon, but there'll be a couple other spots we use it.
Oh god, I gotta move to the right there.
Yeah, the Ignazol. Ignazol is a really powerful echo. It's a fire source, so it can light things on fire, but actually has some surprising combat use as well.
This actually places us just a little bit higher, so you can jump off that elevator just a little bit faster. And we need bed anyway just to get up this wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that wouldn't be worth it if you had to menu for it specifically, but since we already need bed, it's just a little optimization there. So we're gonna light some torches here, which we can do with the Ignazol.
I know you
It's
mentioned
actually
it
faster
before.
to just climb over these boxes rather than like break them.
I know you mentioned it before, but the movement in this game is just so fun. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's
really
just
is.
enjoyable.
So here's the part where, and I'm guilty of this too, the game teaches you that you can pull shields away from enemies, and nobody got the message.
I definitely did. I sat there and threw pots, dropped urchins on Link.
I finished the game, I watched an any percent run, and they pulled the shield off Link, and I was like, wait, the game taught you this. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to put an Ignazol behind him, and then he has a skill issue.
He didn't get stunned.
Yeah, so there's 3 like Echo Link fights in the game that each give you one of his equipment: the sword, the bow, and the bombs. We're only fighting this one in this category. The Ignazol just kind of destroys him.
Yeah, Ignazols do 8 damage per like tackle, and then the burn damage after effect does like a total of 5 over time. So it just kind of, it's faster to just use those. Because A, we're already menued to Ignazol at that point from lighting the torches. And it just does a lot more. Like, the Ignazol does more damage than the Dark Nut.
Yeah, somehow. Dark Nut has a literal axe.
The axe.
So we pick up the sword, which unlocks sword fighter mode. So this is where we get to use the sword and basically be like Link for a bit, but there is a timer on it, which is the energy meter, the blue bar under hearts. So this is really useful for some combat, but like, you can't use it too much, so we mostly just use it on bosses and like a couple other fights.
I weirdly think that this is a very fair and not overpowered mechanic. Like, unironically.
Yeah, I think they implemented it well.
Because at first I thought when they put it in the trailer, I thought it was going to be overpowered. Like people were just going to stop using the actual mechanics of the game just to play as Link. But then I realized, wow, they give you like 4 seconds to do it. So it's kind of good.
And then they balance it by like in most places you can't really easily get energy back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just balanced that way. So we gotta kill some Deku Babas here, which you can kill by just pulling them.
You just
The game doesn't really teach you that until the next room, but
yeah, we just forcefully rip their face off. It's fine.
I mean, they deserve it.
Yeah, with all the stress they've given me over the last like 7 Zelda games. All right, so we got a really neat room coming up here that has gone through like so many different like micro optimization strats, and I'm pretty sure there's probably still faster ways that we can clear this room. But that would also involve us grabbing like more echoes, maybe.
We got a couple side scroller sections here with moving platforms on a cycle. So there's just some very neat ways. We'll be able to use this tarantula here to some good effect. This is also where the game gives us the reverse bind mechanic. We didn't really talk about bind in the first place at all, but bind kind of lets you, grab and control an object, kind of like Ultra Hand in Tears of the Kingdom. But then reverse bind lets you kind of do the opposite, where you have Zelda move like in the same way that the bound object does.
Also, this trick. This trick took us 2 weeks to find, by the way.
Yeah, you can just do that.
All of us were sitting there, like, grabbing the statue and dragging the statue and placing it on the platform. And then Myth posted a video, and it was like, apparently you could just
put
this.
a bed here.
The entire Discord was like, what?
I mean, we had another collective skill issue, too, we'll point out much later in the run.
Which one is that?
In Lanehru.
Oh.
Speedrunning is funny like that. Nice bed.
So this is Seismic Talus. We're going to hopefully use this bed to do that.
I should do that strat.
Pretty nice strat.
The bed
it's
is
not
so
guaranteed.
Cool.
This boss is pretty easy. It's a little RNG, because sometimes you can just spin around instead of slamming and then just waste a few seconds, but...
Yeah, that was Southern Ruins. Now, like, a lot of the times whenever I do this cutscene, I'm sitting here looking away from the screen or something, and I forget that there's 5 text boxes.
Yeah, there's text boxes here in this dungeon only, and then in other dungeons there's not.
I definitely get issued a bunch of skill there, aka some 4 or 5 second time loss because I'm not paying attention. So after completing this dungeon, we open up basically the entire overworld here. We're gonna go get introduced to one of the other characters here, Luberry, who is going to be able to upgrade our weapons. And we're only going to visit him once. We're going to upgrade our sword, and then we're going to... We upgrade the sword after the first dungeon. And then we are going to go on a world tour here, grabbing a bunch of waypoints.
After the second dungeon.
Yeah. Is it faster to sword fighter form the Crawl Tula, or should I just drop a bunch of urchins on it?
I don't know, honestly. I think sword fighter's faster. It's like 1/1 spin.
I guess it just depends.
I don't know
on
though if you factor in the
animation from turning sword fighter.
animations, yeah.
All right. It was actually a gold split on my timer.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so once we cleared that rift, we actually freed Minister Left, or Ministrina Sinistra, in in German, which I believe translates to left. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, their names are based on like the Latin dex and sinistra instead of right and left. Or I mean, I don't know what the words are in German, but probably not that.
so we have a little follow section here. So we're just gonna walk behind.
Yeah, you can't get too far ahead of her, or she stops moving and then tells you to come back. But we want to get a little bit ahead of her. Because basically, when she gets to like the top of that hill, you can go trigger this cutscene.
I also would love to point out here, if you look at the machine inside Luberry's house, it definitely has a face. So you're welcome.
I also noticed recently that
No!
like he cleans up his house. It's like there's all that stuff beside the machine, and it's not there when you come back.
I don't like that you told me it has a face, Ice Blue. Don't do no.
I noticed the face like almost immediately.
I didn't realize there was a face.
And it's funny because like there's like the pupils, and then like I looked at like the red nozzles, like the little meters on it, and I just immediately just assumed that they were like blood vessels. I pointed that out to my chat the first day that I played this, and I was like, yo, the machine has a face. And everybody was like, oh, I hate this. And I was like, you're welcome. I think one of my favorite things in this game is just like, since like none of the NPCs actually like talk, they just make sound effects. A lot of these sound effects are really funny, like especially like General Wright. He just goes ngang, 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 ngang. And like that just makes me laugh every single time. But like most of the conversations are just oh ah. Ooh. All right, it is time for the world tour.
Yeah, so in order to do wrong warps, we need to get a bunch of waypoints to use, because essentially how the wrong warp works is we're going to use a glitch called menu storage, and that's going to allow us to basically manipulate it so that when we pick a waypoint, so when you pick a waypoint to warp, the game like sets an index to like what destination to send you to, and there's separate arrays or lists of indices for the overworld and for the still world. So basically using this glitch menu storage, we can manipulate the game to use the index of a waypoint that we hover over in the overworld, but then warp us to that same index in the still world, which is going to let us break into like all the rest of the dungeons. But in order to do that, we have to have waypoints unlocked on the overworld to use. So we do a bit of a world tour here just to get the waypoints we need. There's no real like rhyme or reason as to where they are. So we gotta get that one, and then the one at the ranch here. Luckily, they do kind of flow in a fairly good pattern. There's only one that's like pretty far out of the way.
Yeah, the Zalpos one.
Technically, there is a way you can skip getting that one, but it's very awful, and I would not recommend anybody does it because it's not a real strat.
Yeah, so there's a thing in the game called random wrong warps, and you can get one of three outcomes. You can get a warp into the still world dungeon, typically Gerudo Sanctum or Jabul Waters. You can get a no warp where it just doesn't warp you anywhere, or you can just get a complete error of the game and it crashes your game and you have to reboot it.
Yeah, you don't have a very good chance to get to Jabul Ruins, which is where you'd want to be going with that. So, like, it's a glitch that has a lot of setup time and has a small chance of working, so... Not a real strat, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to do all this stuff almost 40 minutes into the run for my game to just tell me, go back to the beginning.
So you see a lot of tree walking here. Got to go all the way over here to the Elden area to get a waypoint in here. But we're also going to make use of this this trip over here to buy a potion from Goron City. So we get to hear one of the best songs in the game for a little bit. Low key.
Yeah, I love Mount Elden. I love everything like Mount Elden in this game. Like Elden Ruins, Mount Elden, it's all so good.
Yeah, so we're buying a blue potion here, which will restore energy. So that's energy for using a sword fighter mode. Unfortunately, for one of the dungeons, Farron Temple, we have to do a lot of bosses in a row, and without really a good chance to get energy back. So the best option there is to just have a potion. We used to upgrade to the level 2 energy meter, but the potion is slightly faster.
Yeah, level 2 energy is definitely a lot safer, but potion just, I think, it's, what, 6 or 7 seconds faster?
I got it to be like 10-ish, but...
Oh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we have to go all this way for this waypoint, but there's basically 2 waypoints we can use to warp into Jabul Ruins, and they're both in Elden, and this is the closer one of the 2. So
yeah, the other one is by the like the rock meat
Rose
ruins.
Quarry, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we still have a couple waypoints we're gonna come grab here. We need Lake Hylia by the Great Ferry.
To me, it's always the Pond of Happiness, but
True.
nobody knows what I'm talking about when I say that. So,
shout outs to Link to the
because if you
Past.
don't know, kind of the intersection of this game's map is the Link to the Past map. So this is like Lake Hylia from Link to the Past, and then the fairy fountain there is called the Pond of Happiness in that game. But I think even within the Link to the Past community, a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about when I say that. So we just gotta get a couple waypoints here. And then we're gonna warp back up to the forest and we're gonna set up the menu storage glitch. So this is where we're gonna make use of the sign echo, which, you know, at first glance seems like a pretty useless echo. But what we get to do
interesting
here,
stuff on the sign.
yeah. The whole forest area basically has this void out zone around it because they don't want you to get in or out of the forest except through the proper entrance. But what we're going to do is we're going to set it up so that we read the sign and enter the void out zone at the same time. And then after we do that, there's, as far as we know, it's a 2-frame window where we can open a menu. And that's going to allow us to have 2 menus up at the same time. So now we have a glitch called menu storage, where we have the echo menu up, but we're able to play the game normally. However, the background is frozen, so you can only see yourself move by the minimap.
I love this loading screen, by the way. We don't know why that loading screen does that. Because it doesn't always do that, it only does it sometimes.
Yeah. So now we have to go back into the still world. What Ice is going to do here is once we're in the still world, well,
we're gonna glitch out the warp menu.
Yeah. So we can open a map menu here, and we're going to select any waypoint and have like the warp prompt up. And then after closing the echo menu, the game will be like, oh, now you can open the map. So we can open a second map. And then that's going to allow us to hover over a different waypoint and set the index to something else.
Which just so happens to be? the inner part of Jabal Ruins.
So he set the index as something else, and also like quickly transfer it to warp on the still world instead.
Yeah, it's like a very quick input of right on the D-pad to like mashing A. Forgot what button I
and
needed to press there.
this run is being done on version 1.0.1 because they patched that. They patched menu storage very annoyingly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jabal Ruins. You're supposed to press like 5 buttons to get a big like water spout going that you can swim up, but you can just use the scroll tiller to get up. As with most things in this game, I think like it's not really unintended. Like they expected you to kind of figure out your own ways to do things. That's what makes this game so cool. I'll quickly grab the bombfish echo here. The bombfish echo is pretty important since we need it to blow things up.
Is it the only bomb in the game? Like, is it? I feel like it's the only one.
There's that
I
and
got.
Link's bomb, and you can. Zeros will also spit out bombs, but it's pretty random, so it's not very useful.
I think if I do this, it removes that amiibo menu forever.
Yeah.
Because if not, that amiibo menu is just going to continue to pop up over and over.
So you just climb up to the boss door.
Yeah, we do like 3 rooms in this entire dungeon and we're done.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame in a way because it is a pretty cool dungeon, but also it's funny that we can just skip it. So we have the Vocavore fight here. This is like the hardest easy fight. Like it's that kind of vibe. Basically we want to hit him with spins to break like all these warts on his back or whatever they are. I don't know. But we're gonna hit him in like specific spots to manipulate his movement. The cool thing about this boss is like there's no timing for when he becomes vulnerable. As long as like you're beside him, you can hit.
Oh, I think he might hit me with a spin here. Yeah, I'm gonna get hit. Yep. Alright, that's fine. He's gonna go this way, but go down. Alright, well, still skill issued him.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Typically, like, what you want to do is you want to hit them fast enough so where it gives you, like, that tiny little, like, inch of space in that upper right corner in the middle, so you can avoid that spin. So you can just go right back. Because if he starts swimming just a little bit more, for some reason your spin attacks just don't actually hit the little warts on his back.
Yeah. So after this dungeon, we'll get another 5 might crystals. You get 5 after every dungeon. And that's going to allow us to get the level 2 sword, which will be really handy for everything else. It does 1.5 times the damage as the level 1 sword. But that's enough that, you know, we can skip a lot of cycles on various bosses. To the point where it's definitely worth the, like, minute or so it takes to get.
Do you remember, like, any of this? Like who was that?
That's Jabu Jabu.
What do you... I've never met this person in my life.
Yeah, you did. It's
actually a fish.
You saved Zora's domain and you conjoined a whole culture.
Who are the Zoras?
2 cultures, actually.
I don't remember any of these folks.
They originated in A Link to the Past. There were the River Zora, and then later in Ocarina of Time, the Sea Zora were created.
I don't see any Zora anywhere.
They play a whole song with their tuba. Chat,
that is a...
I'm not crazy,
conch-horn.
right?
Like conch horn. Have you even played Link's Awakening? Come on now.
I do like Link's Awakening.
It's pretty good.
It's better than the other 2.
After this dungeon, we're gonna be introduced to Drad and Kushara, who never shut up.
These two are a married couple that aren't married. They argue and bicker.
They have that relationship, like they bicker like they don't actually like each other, you know?
But they're like the best of friends.
They're trying to not admit that they're madly in love for each other.
Drad's face is also very funny, like 90% of the time.
This game has funny faces. It really does.
All right, so we're gonna get a nice little cutscene with some hot jams. And just a bit here. Once we walk out of this cave, we just get a kind of like a cutscene that we don't even have to mash through. So you have an emote for this this section. There we go.
It's a nice little break of no inputs. Unless you're like me and just mash as a nervous tick when there's nothing to do.
Yeah, it makes the game go faster, didn't you know?
Just gotta increase the APM to make the game appear harder than it is.
This part of the game made me smile. It did. It really did.
I love like speedruns that have stuff like this because I am a person who sits in my chair for hours upon hours. So like any opportunity I'm given to stretch is S tier for me. But also cute cutscenes.
This is one of a couple places where we get a nice little bit of routing for waypoints. We got to get the Crossflows Plaza waypoint, which is basically just right here. And we'll use that one later. So we don't really have to go out of our way for that one.
Here's an instance of Zelda not being recognized with the hood on.
Yeah, this guy could just be like running up to some random woman. It's kind of weird, actually.
Look, he's just very expressive of his feelings. All right, so we're gonna grab this, and then we're gonna go straight to Blueberry's house because we're gonna upgrade to level 2 sword here. Shout outs to that poster in the background of the wanted poster of Zelda and the gigantic nose that they gave her. Kind of looks like Squidward. So we talk to Blueberry here because he basically tells us about upgrading our weapons. We need to talk to him first before we can actually interact with this machine. But this is the only instance of upgrading that we're going to do in the entire run. Because every other instance is just... We can only come back here if we wanted to like upgrade to like level 3 sword, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, it costs way too much.
All right, so we're going to come back up here to the trees because we have another wrong warp we're going to do. So we're going to actually split a dungeon here. The reason that is not the bed, and the reason that we do this is because Farron Temple takes so much like sword energy to like complete. We need to like be able to like go through it, defeat Manhandla, restore our energy so we can go fight Manhandla 2 and Goma. Because all those fights just take a massive amount of energy, and not even the potion can save us there. And plus, we need to leave Farron anyway to wrong warp back into another point of it. So we split it and do Hyrule Castle first.
Yeah, Farron we want to do in 2 trips because as I said, we have to do the 2 manhandler fights, and one of them is like really far into the dungeon, and we want to wrong warp to there. So we start out here by wrong warping to the boss and activating that waypoint, and then backtracking to the first manhandler fight. And then later we're going to warp back in front of the second manhandler fight, beat him to get the big key, and then just normal warp to the boss waypoint that we have activated.
You have to also be careful when doing this glitch. So that secondary menu that shows warp or cancel is actually very important. It has to be on warp in order for it to work. If it's on cancel, you'll just do nothing.
So we have a puzzle here in this room where we have to hit 2 switches at the same time. So we can do this by basically we'll make a bed at a distance here, which is an ability we unlocked after beating Jibble Ruins. And then, yeah. It's not, I mean, it's at the same time, but it's a pretty generous window they give you.
This is also a cool piece of tech here. So you can actually bind the door there, pull it, and then open the chest right before the door pulls, and it'll keep because you actually have to have the pull animation out for a good few seconds before the door actually pulls.
So here's another echo we need, the electric keys. Technically it's not required, but it is basically required to do Goma quickly. So just quickly kill him with a bombfish. Here we'll have the first manhandler fight. We just gotta feed him bombs and then cut his heads off. Oh, I guess you can just slash him. I still feed him bombs. But
yeah, we get a lot of energy recovery in Hyrule Castle, so I just figured just slashing these is just way faster. All right, so once we do that, we just leave the dungeon because that sends Manhandle 2 to his right spot where we can warp back in later with the full energy and get the boss key that way. But we're gonna go now to Hyrule Castle. That is.
yeah, Hyrule Castle is a pretty difficult dungeon, actually. Luckily, we don't have to do very much of it here.
For anybody that's just joining us here, this is the Oops All Zelda Weekend Preview Night. We're currently previewing The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, all dungeons, where Ice is cheating.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cheating right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I
am playing this game intendedly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why they patched it out, because it's intended.
It was too powerful. But yeah, that was an instance like that, missing that menu storage there was just because it's a 2-frame window. It's a 60 FPS game.
some of the time.
Some of the time, yeah. Depends on the area you're in.
I had people come into my chat that were complaining that it wasn't consistently 60, and then they were like, "It should run at 30." I'm like,
"We need to
stop!
Go
Don't say anything." I'd rather sometimes 60 than all the time 30.
I didn't really notice very many frame drops when I played it.
I saw it sometimes.
Only in a couple spots.
So we're gonna just take this guy, just throw him into the water. Goodbye. All right, buddy, I need you to...
You just built 4 beds.
Yeah. We'll just take him with us. I like to drop a bed on him. He needs to be a tile lower, but you can drop a bed on him and it pushes him underwater and just drowns him.
Yeah, so here Ice is gonna load an autosave. This game autosaves a lot, especially like after chests and stuff.
You just got to be careful not to do it too fast. If you pause it before, like the zoom out is fully done, it will not autosave.
I've been burned by that because in LAS and Link's Awakening, the autosave is instant, but in this game it takes like a fraction of a second or something. So like, yeah, you need to wait for it to actually autosave. So coming up here we have the Ball and Chain Trooper fight. We have to make use of this electric keys that we got and zap them. It's quite nice.
A lot more energy than I wanted to use, but it's fine.
We're actually going to pick up his Echo as well. Ball and Chain's a pretty good Echo. He spins his ball, does 6 damage every time it hits. So it's a good option for DPS in this category. Frog Ring lets us jump twice as high. Very useful item. Very good thing that they put in the game.
Yeah, the double jump like height is just so nice.
So here we have Ganon. Ganon is he's a really cool boss. Like he's only a mid-game boss here, but he's still really epic. You know, in the same way as when he used to be a final boss.
Oh.
They did a really good job with this fight.
Oh.
It's also a pretty long fight, pretty difficult.
I got very excited about this fight because it's extremely similar to A Link Between Worlds, which, again, this engine is a very, very, very barely recognizable version of that engine. So, now that I didn't know you could do. That's sick.
Yeah, you can grab the trident.
Yeah, I did not know you could do that.
I think 4 damage, I think, when you hit him with it. So we also use Ignisols here on the fire bat phase. He targets them, they're immune to fire. So just kill all the bats and get the energy back.
Yeah, I had absolutely no idea you could grab the trident. That's sick.
Yep. I'm still not like, I don't like the ow. I don't like the volleyball phase.
I like tennis.
It can be kind of difficult.
We'll try one just for fun.
So you're going through 4 phases here. He does different attacks in each phase. His attacks actually aren't random until the 4th phase.
Oops. That was. Oh yeah, wait no. Let me do that. Of course.
Yeah. This fight can be rough. I only have 5 hearts for it, and if you die, it's always a really big time loss. Because this fight takes a long time, like 2 minutes. I think the best fight that's been done was like 1:38. Ish.
Yeah,
hey, there we go.
It was not a great fight, but yeah, it's definitely faster to like play like tennis with him because it stuns him for longer, and I think the orbs do 8 damage to him.
I'm not aware of it doing damage to him, but I may be wrong on that.
I definitely remember one time when I like casually, I think one of my phases ended when I slammed the orb into his face. But yeah, coming up here in this cutscene, we get a nice little glimpse of Breath of the Wild Link. This Link
With a club.
this Link jumps in with the club, breaks it in 2 hits. You know, standard Breath of the Wild plays. Should have checked his inventory before using this weapon.
Yeah, but the last hit does double damage, so...
True. Maybe that's why both the hands break. Alright, so we get a little scene here. As Tri gains levels, your echoes start to become cheaper, or you get an extra echo usage, capping out at level 6 or at level 11, which gives Tri 6 casts. Well, you get that at level 9, but I always...
Yeah, the maximum level is 11, obviously. It's perfectly a reasonable number.
Yeah.
I guess it's like 10 level ups.
So we finally get to see who the antagonist of the game is here. There's the Bokoblin Club. No, it's gone.
For the tennis, you have to slash early. It's kind of the same thing as with Ocarina of Time's Phantom Ganon, where it's moving so quickly you have to slash early. Takes a bit of practice, but
yeah, I need to practice that just a little bit more. All my practice runs have just been walk past the orb and just slap Ganon a couple times.
So we have another kind of long cutscene section here.
Yeah, it's basically pulling the king out of that rift. He tells Zelda, "Here, you've done enough. Go rest." But we're not done. We have a lot of stuff to do here. This cutscene also gives us access to one of the most powerful echoes in the game. You don't really need it in this particular run. It's just a nice safety to have. You get Zelda's bed. And Zelda's bed, when you sleep in it, restores 2 hearts, which is massive, if you don't want to buy a bunch of potions and things like that.
Yeah, it's really good, especially when you don't have a skill issue like me and don't pick it up till post game.
And me. There's one glitchless run I did, because glitchless we use Zelda's bed a lot, because we upgrade to level 3 sword pretty early. And level 3 sword, the sword beams plus the sword slash damage stacks. And if we don't have sword beams, the entire, you just lose so much time. And there was one glitchless run where I just forgot to pick up Zelda's bed.
You can use the old bed. It does half a heart.
Yeah. Great. Especially when you have 10 hearts to restore. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to experience these 2 little cutscenes here in order to progress the game.
Yeah, the game disables warping here, so even when you have control there, you can't leave.
Also, I have a question for you, Glenn. Coming up after this section, is it because the game keeps auto-completing main quest as to why it keeps swapping your map menu to the quest menu screen? Because every single time I do menu storage after this section, I get stuck on the quest screen.
After you complete a main quest.
Yeah, because I've definitely had a few runs where I would menu storage after this section and it would just slap me into the quest screen, and you can't get off that screen when you have menu storage up. So I just have to redo it.
Yeah, I think it's because we warp away really quickly here. There's a main quest that completes here, which is finding the king or something.
Yeah, I think it's 2 or 3 main quests that just auto-complete over time. Now, technically here, we can go and do the quests to get the cat suit, but we're not going to do that.
No, catsuit is cursed.
I like the cat suit.
It's a nice cat suit.
What Ice, in about like 5 minutes, do you think we'll have a spot that we could take a quick break?
After Farron, probably.
Okay, just let me know when.
There we go.
It's no rush.
Yeah, if I don't do those 2 menus there, basically, when I do the menu storage, it would put me into the quest like screen. But I'm currently having a skill issue trying to get menu storage, so.
Yeah, so we're gonna do the second half of Farron now. So as Ice was saying earlier, or as we were saying earlier, like we want to split up Farron already, and by doing Hyrule Castle in the middle of it, we get an energy refill that we can use, because the second trip is literally we're gonna fight Manhandla 2, the second fight, and then go straight to Goma. And like you use a lot of energy between those fights, and Goma doesn't really reliably give you energy drops back.
Yeah, like optimally when you fight the fight, you don't get any energy at all. So we're gonna just kind of like set up our echo menu here because we need the bomb fish. And this one is 2 ruins. I always get these wrong warps mixed up.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to remember them, because as I was saying before, there's no real rhyme or reason to this. It's just like completely arbitrary. So this time Manhandla has 4 heads, and there's the 2 blue heads that can only be stunned by feeding them a bomb. Otherwise, you just can't do anything.
Yeah, the blue ones are completely immune to all damage except for bombs, which is one of the main reasons why we need the echo for the bomb fish. I guess it's still gonna pop up with the amiibo menu. All right, so wait, that's why did I auto load that?
But Ice, the cat costume.
What cat costume?
The cat costume. I'm gonna bring you a Ganondorf amiibo at the GDQ. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh.
So here is the Goma fight. Goma is hopefully 3 phases, where you want to basically electrocute the crystals on her legs. And
I'm
then
having
they'll
a
stun her.
skill issue with this keys.
Sometimes the key search is drunk. Like, there's no other word to describe it.
That is not my electric keys.
So the first phase, she's on the wall. Second phase, she'll be on the ground and charging. This is also one of the places where the targeting system being absolutely terrible, like, really matters. It's very bad. Use that potion.
Yeah, this fight is purely the reason we buy the potion.
This phase is annoying, especially because she, like, spins around a lot. And like how the keys work is like when they are going to attack, they like choose their target like as like a coordinate in 3D space, and they will charge at that spot, and then, you know, Goma will spin and move away from that, so the keys just charges at nothing. So sometimes it's just really annoying to actually hit her.
Not to mention the targeting system is hilariously bad in this game. You could be directly in front of it, and the targeting system will target something like 27 miles away, and you're just like, huh?
Ice, be nice. They gave us a targeting system in a top-down Zelda game.
It's definitely a targeting system of all time.
I'm just excited that we have literally Z targeting in a top-down Zelda game. My favorite Zelda game is A Link Between Worlds, and we did not have that luxury.
After this cutscene would probably be a good time to like I could stop playing like during like the orb introduction if you'd like.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. After we get the crystal mite here, we're gonna get an orb cutscene, and we'll just stop right there.
Sounds good. Just take a quick break.
Okay, we're good here.
All right. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. But before you go, I have some quick announcements here. First one is Games Done Quick is hiring. We are looking for an event programming lead that will be responsible for the 10,000-foot view of our mainline event schedules. So if you are interested or you know someone that is, go to gamesdonequick.com/jobs for more info before November 2nd. You can also join the GDQ Discord and add Hotfix role where you can keep tabs on all of our upcoming events, talk to staff, and more. Use !Discord to join the Discord. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the GDQ Hotfix Oops All Zelda Weekend Preview Show. Once again, today we have some incredible runs. We are showcasing the 2 races that we are running this weekend during Oops All Zelda. But GDQ Hotfix has a ton of incredible shows, and if you missed any of them, if you missed any of our events or our different showcases that we do each week here, you can check them out at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And yeah, go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix and check out the season 3 schedule. We have all kinds of different stuff that we do every week here on GDQ. So stick around. All right. Let's get back into it. Ice Blue, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, all dungeons.
Hello, I'm back. Yeah. So, Glenn, are you ready?
I am.
Sweet. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. So yeah, we just beat the Fair and Wetlands. We're gonna get the Furor's. I forget what they call these things. Sanctions, there we go. I've been playing this game in German so long, I forgot the names of the stuff. But we find out that we need the 3 sanctions in order to basically awaken the prime energy. Not the Triforce, it's the prime energy.
It's the drink. Logan Paul paid so much money to Nintendo.
It's the... Actually, you know what? It's the Twitch Prime Energy. Chat, is there...
Oh, we like that. We like that one.
Prime Gaming.
Prime Gaming.
It's the Prime Gaming Energy.
Any primers in chat? All right. So we are going to have a nice little... I especially love this like specific cutscene.
We're going to need you to cheer on this Deku Scrub.
Yeah, this Deku Scrub in the directly in the middle. We don't know what's wrong with this Deku Scrub, other than just the massive skill issue.
Yeah, a lot of people in this game have skill issues.
So this entire section, So this entire section, these Deku Scrubs were eating webs, but now they're... Hey, what's wrong with this guy?
You can do it, buddy.
Oh, no, he's gone.
Goodbye.
Yeah, they were eating cobwebs and calling it cotton candy. But then after we, you know, in a normally played run, you know, there's no more webs there, and they're like, well, let's go drink smoothies instead. So yeah, that's the lore.
I absolutely love them so much in this game.
Me too.
I especially love the cutscene before
popped off.
I especially love this cutscene before you enter the rift, because there's two Deku Scrubs talking, and they're like, what's more important, your friends or the cotton candy? And the other Deku Scrub like looks down at the cotton candy, looks at their friend, and looks back at the cotton candy, and is like actually like considering the cotton candy. But we're gonna get a very like large barrage of like multiple cutscenes in here because the game loves to introduce areas the moment you set foot in them.
But because we are in Verona Symphe.
But because we never set foot in here, we're just gonna continuously get these cutscenes. And this cutscene here, especially in the all dungeons run, is like my absolute favorite. Because once you get to this temple here, Tri like walks up and is like, huh, there's a giant rift here. Let me see if I can find an entrance. But since we've already beaten this dungeon, he's just looking at nothing.
Yep, that's a big rift. Look at how big that is.
And then he's like, let me find an entrance to this rift, and just walks through the front door of the dungeon. It's so funny. And he's like, I found an entrance to the rift, but I don't know how we could get inside. Even though the front door is wide open.
Grezzo really, in my opinion, like just fully cooked on this game. Like it's so cute, and there's so many good moments. It's very good.
It's a really good game.
Even if Gerudo is 90% talking and text.
Yeah, it's definitely 90% talking and text. We're about to do it.
All right, if you blink too fast, you're gonna miss Gerudo's Sanctum. By the way,
is that fast?
All right.
Oh yeah.
So as is tradition, we're gonna warp to in front of the boss, but then we'll let it kind of speak for itself. I think.
This is the hardest dungeon in the entire run, by the way. You know, getting this 2-frame window here.
Yeah. Just press the button.
I'm pressing the button. They patched it. It's live patched.
Yep.
Ice, why'd you update?
Doug Bowser just forced you to update.
Doug Bowser
during the
watching
during the break
right now.
Yeah, during the break when, you know, Doug Bowser just burst into your house and updated it. It's fine.
I couldn't say no. It was literally Doug Bowser. All right, but yeah, if you blink too long, you're gonna miss Gerudo's Sanctum. You're also not even gonna be able to see Gerudo's Sanctum for the most part.
Yeah. So kind of the gimmick of the dungeon is like the area near the boss door where the big key is has a bunch of sand, and you pull a plug to drain the sand out of the room.
Yeah,
but
we're not gonna do that.
We're not gonna pull that plug. As it turns out,
apparently the sand
walk in sand.
The sand doesn't have any hitbox. You could just go through it.
Yeah.
So welcome to Gerudo
You can
Sanctum.
jump out of the sand though. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I did that once, and then I closed the game. So here there's like a spinner puzzle to get the big key, which we do without being able to see it at all. Luckily, it's not random or anything. We know exactly what to do.
Yep, we got the big key.
So then we're gonna go fight Mogriff here. It's a really interesting fight.
Yeah, this is actually
pay attention.
Yeah, this is a
so
pretty
you don't miss it.
It's a pretty tough fight. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Mogriff. Mogriff is a giant, I guess, mole. But we're just gonna leave. Goodbye, Mogriff.
Goodbye.
All right, now was Gerudo Sanctum.
Oh, you weren't kidding.
That's Gerudo Sanctum. Welcome to the desert. Yep.
Zelda's taking a little more swim in sand.
That
was an English sentence.
I love how silly this category is.
This cutscene's also broken.
Yeah, you're supposed to be talking to Donna and the Chief Sira. But since Chief Sira was never introduced and we didn't have he experienced the cutscene with Facette, they just don't put Chief Sira in the cutscenes, and the cutscene just doesn't move there, and it just talks for a little bit, and it's like, all right, bye.
Yeah, so that warp in Gerudo Sanctum, for whatever reason, just is there if you beat Goma.
Specifically Goma only, by the way. We don't know the logistics behind it, but there's a flag in the game that just says once you beat Goma, Gerudo Sanctum is done.
Very strange.
Oh, I skill issued myself.
I also like that, we have famous Gerudo, ladies like Urbosa, Riju, Chief Seer, and then we have Donna.
Yeah.
Hey, Donna's cool.
Donna is cool, but it's just Donna.
She gives you a couple of chili cactuses. She's pretty cool.
She gives you pajamas.
It's also true.
It's true.
They make the bed even more overpowered.
So
but
we're
also
going to do Elden Temple next. This is the other dungeon that we're going to do in 2 parts. So if you wrong warp to the waypoint near the boss, you're actually locked in there. You need a small key to backtrack from it. So we have to go in the front and get a small key and then warp to the end.
yeah.
Now, due to the kind of way they aligned indexes for various warp points, the best warp point we actually get to use here is the start of the Elden Still Realm. Or Still World, whatever. And we do some pretty cool movement here to get into the dungeon.
We call this the Octorok parkour, as
yeah, I found this out by accident the other day. You can just jump on Octoroks.
Ow.
You can just stand on them.
All right, that guy deserves a medal.
We go this way, and then we fly over here.
But also,
we used to do a trick here called Meat Bird, which is pretty funny, but it's really annoying to do in runs, honestly. So
it's also very slow.
Yeah.
One thing I want to point out, by doing Gerudo late like that, because it sets a story flag to post Gerudo, it's gonna do some funky things later in the game for us.
That was actually going to be my question, because I know you did the order a little bit differently than the way the game intended, so using the wrong warp. But I was just curious to know.
Mm-hmm. The main thing is to do Gerudo after Farron, so that we get to skip the boss.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really matter when we do it.
But it does introduce some very, very, very funny things.
We would
on.
do Hyrule Castle first, honestly, if we didn't need the bombfish. I guess the level 2 sword's really good for Ganon too. That's why we do Chipple early. But so yeah, now we're gonna just leave Elden. We're gonna go and warp into the end of it.
Yeah, we needed that one key there in order to escape the backside of Elden, because we need to go get the boss key there. And we also need to get another Echo. We need to get the fire keys.
Mm-hmm.
But why not just use Candle?
On Scorch Hill? No, thank you. Dropping Ignizels on Scorch Hill's helmet does 2 damage.
wrong warp here. Let's use the Scrubton warp that we picked up after beating Farron.
That brings us here.
We'll once again use our Electro Flutterbicer to fly across this room.
First, we need to activate this. I made the mistake one run of not activating it and was like, I'll just use an autosave.
Yeah, I did that too.
That's
I lost a lot of time that run.
Yeah, auto-loading after grabbing the big key just brings you to the room where the lava rose, and you're just like, oh. All right.
Yep. That room's pretty cool to do backwards. These fire keys are the actual worst. I really don't know, like, any good way to deal with them. I guess that works. Now we get the foyer Flutterbicer. So we're gonna blow this up to get the small key here. We kind of put the bomb fish in some specific spots just to get there faster. There's a way to do it with 2 bomb fish, but it's pretty new and kind of scuffed.
Yeah, like you have to like jump at like a very like specific moment and like push the bomb fish downwards. Shoutouts to this particular Moldorm.
Yeah, bye.
We don't want to deal with him while climbing back up, so we just bind him and throw him into the lava.
But by virtue of being a mini Moldorm, he deserves everything that happens to him.
I like small hamburger.
I don't.
Well, now it's a very well-cooked small hamburger.
True.
Yeah, so this is like an escape section. You're supposed to get got by that ladder breaking. But we just use a Strangela instead. And then use this waypoint here. We did have to escape this section first because the game disables warping during that escape sequence.
Glenn, you gotta go type 1 in chat, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
All right, are y'all ready for an auto-scroller?
Yeah, this boss sucks. So, I mean, say hi to Valegia again, returning from Ocarina of Time. In this one, he has a damage cap per phase that makes it take 7 cycles, and the damage cap is really easy to reach, so it's not like we could ever have any chance of dropping a cycle.
Yeah, you can only do 50 damage per cycle on this boss.
It's just 7 cycles of hitting him with the sword.
And he has very like set spawns, so we know where he's going to be every single time.
Yeah, it's just not even random. But his tried and true strat is to just shoot slow-moving fireball at you. Surely that will work this time.
Almost got me. Almost. All right, so he enters phase 2 here. Doesn't change up anything. Just does the same thing.
This fight's pretty boring, actually, but it's really annoying if you lose time on it. It's pretty hard to lose time once you know, when you're doing this strat.
I like locking onto the green crystal just so our sword slashes just kind of like prioritize that. Because you want to break those to stun him, but it also gives you energy recharge too. This one we're not going to lock onto because this is the last phase. And that was Volvagia.
Go back to Ocarina of Time where you belong.
Now, if you enjoyed this auto-scroller, you may enjoy Din's life story. The second one of the, Endgame 3 dungeons, you get the goddess explaining to you the origins of Null, who's, the true villain of the game. And it is 1 minute and 20 seconds with no inputs whatsoever.
Yeah, so it's a perfect opportunity for me to stretch. Jiggy, if you got some things to talk about, let's hear them.
I have some things, yeah. One thing that I think hopefully you're going to, Ice Blue, did you know that AGDQ 2025 will be live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 5th to January 12th?
I have my badge and I have my hotel room already.
That's awesome. Registration and hotel bookings are now open, so you can visit gamesdonequick.com and check out AGDQ 2025 important dates to learn more about it. I'm excited. I'll be there.
Also, if you are going to AGDQ and you are interested in learning this game, please come find me. I will show you everything you need to know. I am very happy to show people this game. I adore and love this game.
Are we going to do a big Zelda speedrunner meetup this time? I left.
Let's do it.
I left the last time.
Well, that sounds like a skill issue on your part.
I think everyone was taking photos at SGDQ, all the Zelda friends, and I was walking out the door to get on my flight. It was kind of sad, I won't lie. But, I've never speedrunned in my life, so it makes sense.
I mean, there's always an opportunity to learn.
I had a oh my god, what was it? It was a 230 or something like that. 230 in A Link Between Worlds 90%. Which is, if I'm correct, not bad, but not good, if I remember correctly.
I mean, a speedrun is a speedrun, though.
I'm pretty sure any percent's 120 right now.
Yeah, it doesn't, but still, though, you at least attempted it, therefore you are a speedrunner. There's no, oh, you need to have X amount of time in order to be classified as a speedrunner. No, you beat the game quickly. You are a speedrunner.
Well, Ice, you know what that means?
You gotta learn more Zelda games.
Well, no, I am technically a speedrunner because I am 1431st in the world at Super Mario World 11 exit.
See, there you go. Speedrunner.
That if you go to my
it's
speedruns,
better than me. I've never run that category.
If you go to speedruns.com/users/Jiggy, you see that. I'm not lying, chat. I am 1431st.
Also, shout outs to this cutscene here. I don't know why, but this cutscene, even though we beat Elden, the rift is still there.
It's a different rift, though, right? It's the Goron City
yeah,
rift.
it's the Darston rift, yeah. So shout outs to them being like, yo, our entire village is saved from the rift. And they celebrate, but there's just this giant rift on the Goron village.
It's like the opposite of Farron.
Also, Darston's eyebrows are so massive in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna upset Glenn here because I am gonna warp to Eternal Forest.
No,
I don't like the warps, the void out spots on the drop down here. It's apparently 7 seconds faster. Fine, I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
It's 7 seconds faster to just go over here and just jump off this cliff.
Yeah, it's just a small jump off a cliff.
See, like, I don't know where the... There.
There you go.
Just for you, Glenn. I got you. All right, we're going to be doing one more... Well, the second to last wrong warp here. Sometimes if you menu here, and like the sound effects of like the menu going over like the warping sound, it just stops the sound effects. This game's operating as intended, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's nothing bad happening right now. So we have one more dungeon left, which is Lanayru Temple. Lanayru Temple ordinarily is a pretty long dungeon. I think it's probably the longest in the game.
It's probably the longest even in this one, too.
Like... Yeah, it is one of the longer ones in this category still. We're warping to the boss here, and we just kind of have to get basically this room activated. So this dungeon has a gimmick where there's these fans that you can turn on hot or cold to either like melt or freeze ice.
Hey, whoa.
I'm sorry.
Shoutouts
I won't melt you.
Shoutouts to that Octorok, by the way.
So we have to come over here to get an ice key. So the boss requires fire and ice attacks. And this is like the first time we get to actually pick up an ice echo like anywhere remotely on our path that we can use.
We actually, so
like,
a week into the run, someone on YouTube actually pointed this out to me. They're like, what if you just bind this rock and not melt it?
Yeah, you're supposed to melt this ice so that you can move the rock on the switch, but you don't actually have to melt the ice to do that. That's it. For some reason, the ice here is frozen, even though it's supposed to be melted.
Yeah.
By default. I don't know why. I have literally no idea why it happens in this category. So the White Wolffo's mini-boss. He howls to summon 2 normal Wolffo's, but if you attack him at any point before he summons them, then it just interrupts that. And then he just keeps trying to howl, so it's pretty easy to take care of him as long as you get that first hit fast enough. It's the worst room in the game.
What do you mean? This room's fine.
No, it's the worst room in the game.
I honestly don't know which dungeon I didn't like the most. Like, do you have a most hated dungeon in this game, Ice?
No, not really. All these dungeons are actually pretty fun.
What about you, Glenn?
Yeah, I think they're all pretty fun too.
I think the water dungeon, I just climbed up to the top of it and didn't do it.
I did not, because I actually did not even have the crawl pillow when I did that dungeon.
I think I used water.
I figured out like the climb up there, but I still did the dungeon casually because I wanted to.
Yeah,
I mean, probably should have done the dungeon. This dungeon's very linear.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cool tech with this dungeon, like in the glitchless route. This route, since we skip 95% of the dungeon, you don't get to see a lot of that tech. You do have to fight the worst mini-boss in the entire series.
Entire series?
So bad.
The slime eye in this dungeon is awful.
It's a horrible fight.
I wouldn't
will
say series. That. I think it's pretty rough, but series?
Yeah, it's definitely up there. All right, I actually do like this fight, the Scorchhill fight. I think this is a
Yeah.
pretty unique fight, other than when Scorchill decides he wants to spin.
It's a very interesting fight because it's kind of just a guy who runs around and punches you, but it's actually pretty interesting and difficult. So he has a helmet that will be either ice or fire. We have to use the opposite element to break it, and then we can hit his main body.
Of course, immediately into the worst attack you can do.
This
Spin
fight
move,
does
dude.
have a decent amount of RNG in what he does. This is the worst one, which takes forever.
Nintendo's all about that spin move. I feel like I cheated on this fight because I had Fire Wizro.
The Wizrobes are really good. There's nowhere remotely close to get Wizrobes in this route, which is unfortunate, but
Of course. All right, well, we just get to watch him become a ping pong ball.
so when he slams to the floor, you actually get to just like drop keys on his head. So that's the attack we want him to do the most. It's also like pretty fast and not much danger to us, unlike other attacks. So second phase, he's fire. This phase is either really easy or completely obnoxious. There's no in between. Very nice.
No.
Oh, it's the worst. Yeah, he like pauses for a while after every attack there to give you a chance to hit him. And with the level 2 sword, we can basically just get through all his HP at once. So in phase 3, he changes his helmet between ice and fire, and then he also has like the icy floor and does both fire and ice attacks. So it's just like a combination of the first two. So far he didn't change his helmet at all there. It's pretty lucky. A lot of times he'll like change his helmet like right before the keys is about to hit it.
Let's be safe.
Yeah, it should be safe. It's a long fight, you really don't want to...
Yep. Oh. It's two slices too soon.
Yeah, well, that was Scorchill. And the last dungeon down. We have a few more cutscenes to go through.
Notably one of the best ones, because we get to see Conde.
Yeah, and also something very important. So the way that we did Farron Temple, and then like we got the cutscenes afterwards that should have been before the dungeon, actually like reverted the like main quest for Farron or something like that. And it makes it so the game at this point kind of doesn't really think we beat all the dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
And normally there's like a cutscene after you beat these three, the Eldon, Farron, and Lanayru, where like, and like Null makes an Echo Zelda and attacks you and stuff, and then you go to Cairo Castle for like 3 minutes or something. And that just doesn't happen. Because we just like, kind of messed up the story flags.
Yeah, so it's because like Farron is still in that uncompleted state technically. The game is not going to give us that last cutscene where you know, we get the Zelda Echo, so it's just like, all right, well, continue your quest.
Yeah, and that whole sequence takes like 5 minutes to get through. Or something ridiculous like that. So that is just one important order to how we do things.
Yeah, this is our last sanction. And we are going to head in to the final dungeon. But it's going to have a nice little twist to it.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrong warp into it. Ordinarily, in the proper storyline of the game, you rescue Link before entering Null's body, and then you have to give him back his equipment. But since we're wrong warping in, that doesn't happen. So we don't give him back his equipment, but he has it anyway.
It also doesn't play like the funniest sound effects in the game to me. The little flute, like the drop flute that plays whenever you save Link, that's like completely off beat and everything. You don't get to hear that.
Okay.
It's like
I don't even remember that. Oh yeah, that one.
You're just like, what? It's so horribly offbeat, but it's so on tune with Link.
Yeah, Link is kind of dumb, but we love him for it.
This is the best character in the entire game. This is Conde.
Yeah, Conde is great.
We love Conde.
I would protect Conde with my life.
Yeah, the whole storyline with Conde is his brother went off on a journey and told him to be good while he was gone, and now he's worried that his brother's not coming back because he wasn't good. And he's desperately trying to be good enough, and it's making him depressed, and it's pretty relatable.
But we tell Conde we saw his brother in the rift, and he's fine. He'll be back home soon. But yeah, normally after beating the 3 dungeons, you get another cutscene here, and you see that Null just kind of absorbs Zelda, turns her into an echo. But yeah, we don't get that. So instead, we're just gonna cheat. That's not where I want you. Come on. It's only a 2-frame window.
Only a 30th of a second. That's so easy.
Sela, first try.
Yeah, the rest was just practice. Yeah, you could see on the map there was the yellow quest marker at the entrance of Faron Wetlands, because the game kind of thinks we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, we never did find a way to get inside the Faron Temple.
It's true. I mean, the door was wide open, but actually, if you go back there later, the door is closed again.
I mean, I'd close the door too.
They gotta protect all that cobwebs, that cotton candy. Sorry, gotta protect the cotton candy.
True. All right, so this is our final wrong warp of the run. This is going to warp us directly inside Null's body. But there's a lot of broken things in here. You can still see that we have our sword fighter form.
Yeah, there's a lot of flags that normally are supposed to get set that just don't, because we wrong warped in here. So we're gonna have to work around that at one point.
Yeah.
First we have this room here. So this room here, they're supposed to spawn enemies out of these blobs that you have to fight, but you can actually attack the blobs and destroy them, which is really easy to do since we actually have Swordfire mode here.
Oh, scammed.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Technically, you can still kill these with enemy echoes, but it's kind of tricky and slow.
All right, I'll just do this.
Although we do get Swordfire mode in here, you do have to be a little careful with it because there are no energy drops anywhere in this area. It's kind of like a mini dungeon, I guess, because you're not supposed to have Swordfighter mode here, so it just doesn't give you any energy. So the last one is pretty important. This one spawns a Lionel, but you can just it's gone. No Lionel.
We don't want to fight that Lionel. That's one of Link's biggest skill issues in this entire place.
Now,
So we're gonna see Link go through this door, and then he'll disappear.
Yeah, he went home.
So there's a spot here where Link is supposed to go on that left path, and then it gets closed off. So Link is just not here. So in this room, we actually have to do something called soft lock skip. So when you hit this switch, it opens the door. Just let ice focus. Okay, so it opens the door, and then it's supposed to make Link walk through the door on his side. But since he's not here, the game is just like forever waiting on him to walk, and he never does. So it's just completely frozen in the cutscene.
Yeah, so we have to like hit that on the same frame as like pausing it and then like saving it, because we need to get that sound effect of it.
Yeah. So like activates it, but then when you save and reload, it'll like save that it was activated, but then we get to.
All right, there's Link currently getting a skill issue.
Link has a skill issue like 90% of the time here. Luckily, you can send the ball and chain guy over to him. But we get to do another cool thing here. You're supposed to like go through a side-scrolling section here, but since, like I mentioned earlier, the Link didn't go down the left side and get the wall closed behind him, we could just go around and go this way, the same way that he's going. Technically, we could go back like right after doing soft lock skip, but it's usually better to just fight on your side of the room properly and then go back. So rather than doing this like annoying thing to get Link up there from the other side, we can just do this. Climb up with a Strandella. Easy. And that's everything we have to do.
Did he just like do like some parkour tricks off that ledge? I think she like spun a couple of times like going down that ledge.
Don't worry about him.
I'm looking at the restream like, hold on.
look, this Link and Link from Breath of the Wild are very similar, okay?
Link is he's a little dumb in this game.
He's like trying his best.
I don't know if you ever heard the thing where it's like there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity, and it's like Link is, you know, he's the courage guy, which means he's actually just kind of dumb. Anyway, here's the final boss. This is Null. Null is in 3 phases, and the first and third phase kind of have like sub phases. Null has a lot of health, but we can pull out his arms until they're like white in the middle, like you see there. And then if Link does a spin attack on them, it cuts them instantly. And then he'll fall to the floor and we hit him. So the first and third phases are going to be kind of similar in that we have to like pull the arms like that. It'll alternate like that, and then a phase where the arms are out of the walls. So there'll be 5 in total. The first phase is fairly easy. It can be a little annoying to grab the hands. Sometimes you just get scammed.
Like that?
Yeah. In this category especially, it's not too likely that you're going to die on Null. You have a lot of hearts, and every time you kill an arm, it drops a heart. So we have like a lot of healing here.
Plus we have Zelda's bed.
True.
Yeah.
I took at least 2, 3 naps during this fight. It was great. I enjoyed this fight, but I did feel the passenger princess, you know, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because as much as, like, you know, you're pulling the arms out and Link's fighting them, which is fun, I don't know, I just felt like I was like, I want to use, I don't know, all my moves.
Okay, nice. That's good phase 1. So after hitting Null
Link?
here, yeah, Link has a skill issue. He's in his own world sometimes.
He's like just sitting there, he's like, do a flip.
Alright, so we get the second phase here, which is in the water. This phase is really stupid and exists only to have Null summon Vocavore. But this phase is an auto-scroller. He has like 500 HP, and it gets reduced to 1 once he reaches the end of this track. Technically, you can kill him earlier, but it's just so much HP that even with the level 3 sword, you can only save like 5 seconds. Oh, I did test it. So, yeah, we just swim, and like, you don't even take damage from touching the Vocavore summons, so like, you're really not in any danger here. We get to do a funny thing. We will do the final damage to Null by dropping the ball and chain guard on him. Normally he would drown underwater, but he's alive long enough to hit null, and that's all that matters. So phase 3, again, is a bit similar to phase 1, but now he has 5 arms. The 3 in the back are, like, they have tries on them, and he'll summon boss echoes with those.
Come on, Link.
Like this, like he'll summon the seismic talus here. These phases are pretty slow, so we want to pull the tri-arms and kill them first, because once you kill all those arms, then you can't summon the boss echoes anymore. It's a scam. But Ice got all the tri-arms there, so now Null can't summon any more bosses. We just gotta deal with the 2 claws.
What? Hello?
Link? Link?
What was that?
Okay, whatever. And so this time we'll still have the 2 phases where the arms come out of the walls, but this time they're going to be the tri-arms, and he'll summon basic enemies. So the first one he's going to summon Dark Nuts. And then on the second one he'll summon Lizalfos and Club Borblins. These can be kind of like scary, especially there's that hand now as well that can grab you. Really important to dodge that. It's really slow to get out of it if it grabs you. There's a lot going on in this fight. And like I said, even if it's not that likely you're gonna die, there's still just a lot of stuff you can lose time to. You can get like scammed on pulling arms, you can just have like really slow enemy phases. So the first 2 phases where you can spawn boss echoes, they aren't random. They'll always summon the same ones. So in this one he'll summon the 3 Ganons, and then the second one will be 2 Scorchels. But luckily we skipped that one. The third phase of this, he will do random boss spawns.
Yeah, which has a pretty high chance of summoning.
Some of them are better than others.
Yeah, has a high chance of summoning Goma, which is the worst one.
Yeah, Goma's really slow, because it's Goma who shoots a bunch of webs and then 3 Mogriffs. It's really slow. So the second one here, we have Lizalfos and Club Borblins. This one's really hectic. This has a high variance because the Lizalfos have a ton of range when they can just charge at you from anywhere. This is like the most notorious thing in this game, honestly. This is going fairly well though, I think. Also, we have to deal with how bad the targeting system is. That's the worst part. So one more phase. The other thing that's hard about those enemy phases is like, once you pull them out, Link will focus them, and then that'll often like make enemies stop aggroing Link and then switch to you. It's just really annoying. So here we have the Scorchel spawn. The Ball and Chain Guard is completely immune to blunt force attacks, which includes Scorchel's spinning there. So we can just use him as like... I always think of him as a goalie for some reason. Just pinball Scorchel. Alright, one more arm. And here we just have to pull the prime energy out of Null. Yeah.
This is a PB, but we paused in between the run.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Time is coming up pretty soon. It'll be after the
moment the
force pops out of Null here.
That is the prime energy.
Sorry, the prime energy time.
Yeah, that was a PB.
Nice run. Let's get some nice runs in the chat.
Incredible. Congrats on the PB.
For record, my PB is a 158.01. But yeah. That was a 157.43 on my side.
It just means you have to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a minute and 51 second gold on Null, by the way.
Wow.
That's how good that fight was.
That was a pretty clean fight.
Yeah. No, like I actually got like a lot of the arm pulls like very, very like easily.
Yeah.
All right, Ice. That means you just gotta wrap up here and go live and do it again. Just saying.
No, absolutely not.
Just saying.
Absolutely not.
One in the chat if you want the salty run back on Ice Blue's channel. Just saying.
No, y'all stay here and watch the Breath of the Wild any % run.
That's only 25 minutes. They'll catch you will be in the intro cutscene by then.
No way. I gotta go play RuneScape after this.
Oh, okay.
But hold on, before we cut here, I definitely want this cutscene to play. Because remember I mentioned earlier, because we did Gerudo's Sanctum after Hyrule Castle, the game gets put into a funny state.
No, we got time. We're good. Remember, you said 2:15.
That was me being generous.
Yeah.
Also, Try here is very rude in this final cutscene in German. After like all this, Try is just very rude. Like the first thing he pops out, he just says, "Zelda, die," and you're just like, "Oh." Thanks, Try. All right. But yeah, we did it. We saved the world. And
man, I mean, hey, you know what I said? I said go do it again, but in reality, you are gonna do it again. You're gonna do it again this Saturday. This Saturday on Oops All Zelda Weekend. Glenn is too, actually. Glenn is too.
Yes. Glenn, the current record holder of this category.
It's true. I currently have the world record in this category.
Glenn, are you sweating seeing that 157?
Here we go. This is Try's rudest moment in Zelda history right here.
Try doesn't have much in Zelda history, but
shoutouts to the no thoughts head empty other Tries around there. Try actually has a expression on his face. But here we go.
Yeah.
He's just like, Zelda die. It's like, oh, all right. Well,
thanks, Try. But yeah, I mean that like I said, everybody, this is the Oops All Zelda preview night. We wanted to give the Echoes of Wisdom all dungeons run and the Breath of the Wild any % run just a little bit more of a spotlight, because both Ice Blue and Glenn, as well as 2 other runners. Let me go I want to make sure I get them. It's Myth and let me see. Oh my God, Myth and is it Joish?
Yeah,
Joish. Yes. So
I never knew how to pronounce their name.
This Saturday, November 2nd, at 5:40 p.m. Eastern. 5:40 p.m. Eastern. The final segment of day 1 of Oops All Zelda, we will have the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom all dungeon race. It's a quad race with Ice Blue, Glan, Joish. How would you say it? Joish.
Joash. Says on his.
Don't worry.
Anyway.
By then I will know how to pronounce their name. I promise. And then Myth. There's going to be the quadruple race, and it's going to be commentated by TGH and Ninpulk. So I hope that you guys will come back for that run. I know I'm excited. I don't know. Glenn, current world record holder.
I will say there's going to be some route variance in that race because Myth is currently cooking a different route that doesn't upgrade the sword but upgrades bombs, and they get bombs early. So it's going to be interesting to see how that run compares against level 2 sword versus level 2 bombs.
That'll be very interesting. Glenn, do you have thoughts on the race? Are you ready to do it?
I think it'll be a good time had by all.
Oh yeah, it's a fun exhibition
race.
That's
my thoughts.
Nothing serious. It has nothing to do with the entire, being the best at this video game.
I did the try hard to get the world record, and now I'm just chilling.
One thing I want to point out: this cutscene is perfectly normal. Don't question it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
I mean, we're in Hyrule Castle Town.
That looks like Hyrule Castle down to me.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the one lone tree in the background, by the way. That's just hanging out there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's okay.
Since we did Gerudo Sanctum, after Hyrule Castle, so it put that main quest state in a, oh, well, you just did Gerudo Sanctum. That means Hyrule Castle must still have a rift over it. So that's why this happens.
This is very. This is extreme Grezzo / A Link Between Worlds engine. I mean, look at like double Ravio. This feels very double Ravio.
Yeah.
My favorite part is just like everybody's celebrating
Yeah.
and they're standing on nothing. And then
This
you get
is-
the
And Link says a really bad word to the king.
yeah, he calls the king a gamer.
You can't just say that on the air.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry. There's an asterisk in there, sorry.
Yeah.
No, like
seriously-
actually, he's supposed to be like a mute like character in this game, but he's just like he just says something like right here, and then like everybody stopped. Like they're like, "Oh yeah, nice, he's talking," and then they go, "Wait, what?" Shoutouts to Left's glasses being all crooked. Yeah, no, this game is very, very adorable. When I first saw this game announced, I was very, very ecstatic for it. I was
Same.
very hyped to be able to experience this game. And like, especially like looking at the artwork, I was like, this looks just like Grezzo, and I loved Link's Awakening.
Like, what I've been saying about this game is I had high hopes for it, and it exceeded them.
It did.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's a really solid title, and unlike a few of Grezzo's other titles, I don't think that this one's going to be like forgotten in the future or skipped. I think that this one will get played by a lot of people. Triforce Heroes.
What game?
Nothing.
But yeah, just big shout outs to the entire Echoes of Wisdom speedrunning Discord. Everybody that's contributed to like spending all this time to like figure out how the wrong warp index works. Because when we originally found this, we didn't know how to like actually control it. And a couple of days later, someone was like, "You just gotta change maps," and then it blew open the floodgates, and we were able to just start like routing everything. Any percent's down to 34 minutes right now, which is absolutely wild. But yeah, big shout outs to everybody who's contributed to this, like breaking this game wide open, giving us this current route. And then who built these routes and, you know, optimized everything. We have a strats channel that posts, like, you could post all these videos in of like strats that you've found, or you just want to like be the person to post the strat, things like that. And then we have specific channels for like any percent, glitchless, all dungeons, 100%, things like that. Yeah. It's been really fun just like hanging out in that Discord with people and just going back and forth, shooting strats at each other, and just learning everything.
The fact that all dungeons is sub 1 or like sub 2 hours and you're still PBing is just like, it's so cool. It's really cool to see it. Yeah. Well, Ice, thank you so much for showcasing this incredible run. Why don't you tell everybody at home just a little bit about what you do? We do have the shout out in the chat right now, but also if you hover over the title of the stream, you can hover over Ice Blue's name and make sure that heart is a big green one.
But yeah, I typically speedrun Zelda stuff. That is like my main just game franchise. Mostly I do retro, like NES, SNES stuff. But this is my main game right now. I'm actively running this game a lot. I do a lot of casual things as well. I also speedrun Super Mario RPG on the Switch because that is just my favorite game of all time. But yeah, if you want to come check me out, come check me out. I'd love to have you around. My community is pretty sick. And yeah, Gland, if you want to give yourself some shout outs too.
I mean, I think you pretty much covered everything about the community, but I mean, I also am speedrunning this game a lot lately, and mostly do a lot of Zelda stuff for the time being. So,
What happens when the time being is over? What are you gonna play? That sounds so like definitive, like Zelda.
It's not really up to my conscious brain. It's up to the monkey brain.
It just
Glenn is gonna just log into League of Legends and just start playing that.
No, that'll never happen.
The way you said it, it just sounds like Zelda is only but momentarily. Soon, League of Legends. Thank you so much, Glenn. Thank you so much, Ice Blue. Don't go anywhere, because the Oops All Zelda preview night is not done. We have coming up here The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, any percent. That's with Koroks. Very excited to be seeing that showcase. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the GDQ Hotfix Oops All Zelda Weekend Preview Show. Once again, if you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we are doing 2 whole days full of incredible Zelda speedruns. We're super excited about all of the epic runs that we are going to have, and you'll see the schedule coming soon. So stay tuned to GDQ's Twitter as well as our social platforms. But before we get into the next run, I just want to say that UBAF is returning as GDQ's first Black charity event, Back to Black, which will be live February 7th through 9th. Run submissions are open now through November 5th, so go to submissions.gdq.com for more info on that one. I also want to just say thank you to all the people that have been subbing and doing bits and doing the gifted subs. We had a few of them during the last run. Thank you very much. All of those go to help supporting GDQ Hotfix. So if you like shows like this one and Oops All Zelda and all of the epic shows like Game Masters coming up right after this show, right after this run actually, thank you for subbing and thank you for doing that. Okay, so who's ready for some Zelda? Are we ready for some Zelda? Type 1 in the chat if you're ready for a little Breath of the Wild with Koroks and Player 5. How are we?
What's up? I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Very excited to have you showcasing this run. Again, for anybody that doesn't know, Breath of the Wild any percent here. We're actually doing a quadruple race on Sunday, if I'm correct. It's on Sunday. It will be.
It's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be a blast. I actually went to Koroks' show, and I just said, "Do you want to play Zelda?" And Koroks said, "Yeah,
of course." Yeah,
I want to play Zelda. But yeah, very excited about that. That's gonna be on Sunday here on GDQ, on the GDQ channel. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild any percent quad race with Koroks, Moist Goulash, Liam Max, and Player 5. Pretty excited. I think that it's going to be a tough competition, right? Pretty.
It should be. It's gonna be fun for sure.
Yeah. So the reason why we wanted to do this run today as well is because of the fact that Koroks, you and Player 5, as well as Moist and Liam, will be super, you're going to be in the zone during this run, during this race on Sunday. So we actually we'll have commentators. We have No Man and Smish that will be commentating over the race. But today I was hoping that you both could give us a little bit of a rundown of what that they're going to see, not only you do then, but what you're going to do now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a fun run. I guess if we're ready, we'll hop right into it.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. It's short too.
All right,
it's
let's
a short
go.
run.
It is a pretty short run, yeah. It's around 23, 24 minutes optimally. Hopefully I can get it around 24 today, but things happen. You never know. So, but hopefully it'll be fun. We'll go over what's going on. It's a pretty crazy run. I'm going to be attempting to do some pretty, maybe not marathon safe strats, but with enough safety food, which I should be getting, I think it'll be okay. So we will be having a lot of fun.
Epic.
This guy is going to be going for the fastest stuff.
Well, most of it. We'll see. A couple things I'm not going to be doing because it's a little bit like a monka on it. I'm not sure if it's going to be like safe to do. So, but none of it's too major. So it'll be fun. So timing is going to start. It's coming up. There's going to be a cutscene here that I skip, and then it'll begin on the first movement of Link. I'll give you a countdown. As soon as I skip this cutscene. We love cutscenes. All right. Starts in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this route is kind of, or this run, if you've seen it before, it follows a similar path to like just playing it casually, except we do it way faster. So we're getting all of the shrines completed on plateau, which is required to be able to get the paraglider, which we need to get off the plateau and go to the end of the game. So in this run, we're going to bombs and then magnesis and then stasis and then cryonis. And then we're doing it all in a way that is super quick and super optimized. Maybe not completely optimized because there are some theoretical routes that are kind of like potentially crazy. But anyways, first trick we're going to do here is called SOR clip. It involves a scope clip, which is where you set the camera angle a specific way. And I got it right there. You just clip right through. Basically, it's opposite Link's facing, or not even necessarily. It's just putting Link basically in a spot like parallel to where the scope is. It's kind of weird. It's hard to explain, but just basically scope one way, Link another way, clip. To put it simply. I don't know. Best explanation I've got for it. So this first segment, let you go.
The scope turns Link around, and so him turning around instantly, if you set it up right, will clip Link through the wall.
Pretty much. And it's a ton of fun. There are 3 main types of clips we use. There's scope clips, shield clips, and then extended shield clips in 90%. And they're all really cool. Coming up here shortly after this cutscene is a shield clip, which is using something called skew, which basically, when you land on a slope on your shield and Link gets off a certain way, it retains the angle of which you land. And you can use that to clip through walls, which is really interesting. And side note, if you hadn't noticed yet, the language is in French, because French is fast. And I may have just given myself skew, so I'm going to clear that. But French is the fastest, and the voice language, if you have an even more astute ear, is in Italian, which recently, and by the way, that was the shield clip. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but Italian is actually the fastest voice language we think right now. We're still doing some timings, but that's the general consensus at the moment. So right here, I'm doing a BLSS, which is a bow lift smuggle slide. And it's where you basically pick up an item, like a pot or a bomb, while you're pulling your bow out. And that basically lets you fly, to say the least. Whatever you're holding is being pushed into Link, like towards him. So when you wiggle opposite the direction, he'll gain momentum just because of the way the physics engine works. It's kind of weird, but it's basically a simplification of what's going on. All right.
Yeah,
so
we'll be doing a lot more DLSS throughout, so you can touch on it more.
Tons of fun. All right, this shrine, I'm going to be going for something called Gamer Wind Bomb, which wind bombs are another trick in case you haven't seen them before. It's basically dropping a bomb behind you, entering bullet time, and then dropping another bomb. And basically what that does is when you detonate the first bomb, the second bomb gets hit into Link and gives him an impact launch. So he gets launched basically anywhere. It is really cool. Hopefully I can pull it off. Oops. It's not optimal, but... All right.
Oh,
perfect.
Looks good.
Nice.
That's a really hard launch.
This is a hard trick, so that was really nice. Clean.
You have a very small like window to launch Link through. If you go too low, you hit the wall. If you go too high, you bounce off the ceiling and die.
It's pretty tight. It is, it's not fun when you fail it. But luckily, it's at the start of the run, and it's one of the harder tricks, so you're not resetting like 10 minutes into a run because of it, like we used to. Oh, we don't want to talk about that. Right. The dark ages. Coming up here is the reason why Italian is so nice. All right, pay attention, because you might miss it. There it is. The old man voice acting is 10 out of 10. Bar none. I think it's the best voice acting of any character in any video game. Just for that laugh. It's just amazing. I love it. So here's some text mashing. It's basically the fastest text boxes to do are up, down, down, up, Or no, wait, down, up, down, right? Did I just,
2 1 1 2.
2 1 1
down,
2.
up, down.
Yeah. The second one, not what I said the first time. It is just muscle memory at this point. I don't really think about it. But all right, here I'm going to be scanning amiibo, which I know, cringe amiibo, but it's going to help us with safety food, and we need it for attack up. Oh, actually, dude, salmon on the
snap,
first
you actually
try.
got it.
On the 1st try,
go.
that's what I wanted. Okay, that'll be safety for calamity. So what we're looking for here are attack up fish or hardy carp or hardy porgy, which I'm getting very unlucky. The usual. Wow. Okay, there's one. I want to scan one more just so I don't need to get the mushroom. All right, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
And I'll just grab. Okay, we're getting the chest.
Grab the
classic.
boomerang. Oh,
Very
lands.
optimal. All right, I want some safety food, so like extra. Not the most optimal scans, I will admit, but whatever. Oops. Already falling apart. This is going great. All right, we're on our way to Magnesis. We're doing another BLSS. That was a little bit awkward for my menuing and stuff, but...
So right here, we actually passed by the tower. If you didn't notice, we kind of skipped it and just clipped into the shrines. Where normally all of the shrines are dormant. You can't activate them. But we clip in because the tower has a very long cutscene that you have to watch if you get it. And so, being able to clip in allows us to skip it, which saves a lot of time. The cutscene takes I think 1.5 minutes at least. So, some really big time save coming from shield clips.
Massive time save, yeah.
And then the reason we do bombs first is twofold. One, it's the closest shrine to the Shrine of Resurrection. So it's the earliest one you can get to. And then two, it also gives you bombs. So BLSS is something that you can do with any item you can pick up. So initially we did it with a pot. But if you have a bomb, you can do it basically anywhere. And then win bombs. You'll see in every single shrine.
That could have given me a little more distance, but I'll take it.
That one is, Koroks went for a setup for the wind bomb that is designed to land you right in front of the monk. So it's, it's pretty tight to be able to get the perfect launch, but when you do, it's very, very satisfying.
Oh, it's so satisfying, yeah. It's a little bit unsafe. You're going to want safety food in runs unless you want to die to a lot of wind bombs. Because it's a strat where you kind of take 2 hearts very often of damage. And we only have 3 hearts and wind bombs take a heart. So it's one of those risky ones that kind of... You only go for it at a high level, I think.
Yeah, it saves, a second or two
Sometime, yeah,
over
not too much.
The safer angle. All right, here's another BLSS.
Yep, fun slide. Dodging trees, rocks.
Dodging trees, going up a hill. And then a very satisfying wind bomb for getting 2 stasis.
Nice. Didn't miss tree. So that's a wind bomb where you climb a tree and do a wind bomb. It's called tree wind bomb. It's pretty fascinating.
Speedrunners are good at naming tricks.
Amazing
Crazy
at naming
name.
things.
Yeah,
right.
Would have
very
never
cool.
guessed.
All right. I am going to be going for a kind of risky wind bomb in here. Hopefully I pull it off because I know sometimes things happen and you get the wrong timing and then bad things happen, but we'll see. Hopefully I hit it.
So stasis is the 3rd shrine, but Koroks was mentioning more theoretical routes for plateau that could be a little bit faster. One of them is actually doing cryo as the 3rd shrine, but it's a little bit harder. You have to do a bullet time bounce, which is obsolete tech now, but could be a little bit faster. It's just
Nice.
the difficulty of it
Clean.
is definitely higher.
That was a nice wind bomb.
Sheesh.
Pretty good.
Oh, coming up is one of the newer like wind bombs that's been added to any percent.
If I can hit it.
Yeah,
So this is a pretty
if anyone's
precise
gonna hit
trick. If I miss this, I can always just do boulder ride, which is the original strat we used to do. Maybe I'll hit it. We'll see. I think, yeah, that's not going to work. That was early square, I think, but yeah, okay. Well, I tried it. Basically, there's a wind bomb there that puts you up top. I haven't actually done this in so long. But this is fine. That one I tried is precise, so...
Oh, dude, it's so we had tree wind bomb. Now the wind bomb up the cliff.
What do you think it's called?
We call it cliff wind bomb.
Cliff wind bomb. Oh wow, we are so good at this. Here's another fun slide. Yeah, cliff wind bomb's hard. It's got pretty precise inputs. I probably shouldn't have expected it to work, but in a marathon run, just because of nerves and whatnot. But yeah, here's an
It doesn't lose too much time to go for it, though.
It doesn't lose too much time. Nice. Okay, that was an ESC. An ESC, or extended shield clip, is basically where you skew into a wall, and then on the frame that you skew, you actually do a shield surf, which makes Link shield surf inside of like the wall or whatever he's skewed up against, to put it simply. So you're extending a shield clip, because not all skews work to clip like in every wall, and shrine doors in particular are like a double-sided wall, so there's like almost 2 layers to it. So an ESC basically just lets you get a little bit further in and lets you clip right in if you get the right frame. It's a frame perfect trick, which I made it look easy, but trust me, it's not that easy. But you just get used to it. All right, coming up here is another wind bomb. This is kind of a fun one. It's a bounce off a wall. And you're trying to get close to the monk, which that one was not good, but of course I get a weak bounce off of it, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. But that's how you finish cryo. Pretty easy.
The cool part about any percent, I would say, is that it's got like a really good mix of unique wind bombs, because each one just feels different.
Yeah.
Either it's like a precise turn to get a low launch, or you're bouncing off a wall. They're just all fun and unique.
Yeah, very. It's nice having like different ones, because if they were all the same, it would be pretty boring. Also bad, well, I guess good for muscle memory, but sometimes it's good to have different inputs for other wind bombs, because it's nice to have something different to do, I guess, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if everything was the same, it would be easy. So, but all right. Another BLSS right here. We're going to bounce off this wall like that. Bang. Pretty fun. And slide all the way over to Temple of Time, where we will get the paraglider from the old man.
Oh yeah, this whole time, no paraglider, because, well, who needs it when you can glide through the air?
All right, I have 2 spears, so I'm going to have to get rid of both of them. You're usually getting rid of the spear here for this fall damage cancel, but I let go a little too late of the button, so... But you want to have no weapons on the approach to castle, because you can pick up a claymore and it'll automatically put it in Link's hands when you pick it up the first time. We'll get to that, though. I think I can just forego shield menuing to like get... P5 knows what I'm talking about. I'll do it later when we get to castle. Right now, I'm just hoping... So castle's coming up, and it's going to be a really fun segment, because if I get loaded gate, then... Yikes. Ooh, that's unlucky. Wind.
Wind.
You love wind RNG. Best thing ever. Yeah, wind RNG can be a thing for wind or like for just bombs rolling away from you. Usually it's not a problem, but it can be. So, tons of fun. So here we're doing a long BLSS all the way to castle, where we are going to do a specific route to pick up enough weapons to be able to do the final boss. And with the weapons we pick up, I think if we play perfectly, we have like 3 hits left on the claymore at the end or something. I don't know the specifics, but it's like very like tight in terms of the durability we have and the damage we can do.
Yeah.
It's fun though.
Yeah, this whole section is really interesting because... Oh, wait, pause, champ. Is...
Nice.
So that gate can be loaded. Or unloaded. We're moving very fast, so a lot of things are not properly loaded in.
I think here I can just do this, and then that might be the best play. Oh, instant cutscene. Maybe it's not the best play. This should still be fine if I had just hit Y when I spawn in.
Yeah, you should be good.
Hopefully. Okay, we're good.
But yeah, this whole castle section is preparing for this final boss rush at the end. So Breath of the Wild has a pretty lackluster, final sequence in a casual playthrough because, you fight Calamity with max hearts, champion abilities, and it becomes really easy. But in any percent, you go straight there, so you actually have to fight all of the blights before you get to Calamity. And so it's this like really intense boss rush. So we'll be collecting like the minimal amount of weapons to be able to deal with all of the bosses that we have to fight.
It's almost like they don't want you to do this or something.
That was fast.
It's almost
Yeah,
like
you
they
better,
want you to like
take notes,
play the
P5.
game. You know?
Take notes, player 5, because that's actually, I'm good on arrows, so I don't want to... Oops. That's bad. Land up there. Please climb up. Oh, I just kind of messed that up completely. Oh, dude. Link, stop. All right. We're good.
Yeah, who knew they would want you to, explore the game?
Who knew?
They want you to like, play it.
That's fine.
Well, it's open world or whatever, so you should be able to play how you want.
True.
Kind of flubbing my inputs here, but still on, I'd say, decent pace. I mean, I haven't made too many major mistakes.
Just gonna keep going.
Yep.
But yeah, we're almost done with Castle. There was a really neat out of bounds section. We picked up ancient arrows. This is just the currently fastest route that we have. And now it's time for
I went for the YOLO
boss
skip.
rush.
the
So
texture
what-
setup.
What Korok just did, you can see Windblade's head is going to be shaking a lot. This is a trick called Windblade Skip, where we will kill Windblade with a single arrow. There it is.
What happened?
Yeah,
Where'd
it's,
he go?
don't worry about it. It just happens. He gave up. Don't worry. It's fine. We don't want him there anyway. Can you give me an attack, dude? Wow. That's the slowest attack I've ever seen.
Bit of a headache.
Yeah. Didn't take enough Tylenol today. Poor guy. But yeah, here we
Yeah,
do some spins and try to get triple hits on this guy. End phase 1 quickly. I'm going to be going for something that's a little bit risky here. It's called Fast Water Blight. And if I get really unlucky, and I mean really unlucky, this could be really bad. But I'm going to go for it anyway because I'm cool. So...
Yeah, this is probably the most finicky part of the blights. Honestly, just the ending sequence.
Okay, that was clean. We got it.
That was it.
Yep, that was it. We got it.
Normally you would fight Water Blight, and Water Blight is hanging from the ceiling, and so you have to knock the blight down to hit it. But without a very precise routing of hits and headshots versus body shots, you won't be able to kill it before it warps away.
Yeah.
And so that set of attacks actually makes it so that we can kill Water Blight before it does this annoying teleport. So it saves like 3 to 4 seconds, I think.
Ooh, that's unlucky.
Yeah. And like the blights, so this could have been really bad for Water Blight, but
It would have been, yeah.
blights can get up early. And at this point, we think it's random.
Pretty much just RNG, yeah. I think
So
just a way they land is like unfortunate and it causes them to just reset faster.
yeah,
Seems like no way to control it.
everybody's favorite Thunder Blight.
Yep.
We've got strats for every single blight, so it's like really, really fast, really streamlined. And right here, you break Thunderblight's shield at the beginning, and it actually is on a timer for when the shield comes back. So this whole, like, the 2 phases, you need to do it nearly perfectly to actually have the shield break and have everything work out properly. But of course, Koroks has done it.
A couple times.
So,
A couple times ever.
clean blights.
All right, this is the
Other
Monka
than
part.
the unfortunate fire blight.
This is the part where the run gets Monka. So hopefully I don't make any mistakes. Okay. Got the Flurry Rush. That's already a good sign. The windows for these and the laser parries aren't actually that bad. All right, I can go for 10 bomb arrows. But when you're on like nerves or you're on pace, it is easy to miss them. Critical hit, lol. Should we mention the Claymore RNG? You can get, on occasion, like attack up Claymores, which save like 5 seconds or so. But it's like a 1 in 40 chance, and it's really unlikely to happen. So I got critical hit here, which saves like maybe a second at the end if you're already slow, but no instant laser. So he can give you an instant laser attack, which is what you want, but it's basically RNG, that whether you get it or not. So, all right.
And then we have the stun lock. So if you spin with a 2-handed weapon in just the right way, you can actually stun lock Calamity. So all of phase 2, he gets like a shield, and you have to like parry a laser to drop the shield. But here, if you just spin and then slam, once the spear like stabs the floor, then you get kind of a free fight. But for phase 2, of course, phase 1 is really intense with all the headshots.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
It's just funny
Oh, there's
because
a pig.
normally phase 2 is like, that's the hard one, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, we have the Eldritch Abomination Calamity, and then we get Ghostbusters 2, you know, goo monster for the final boss. One of them requires like really precise parry timing, and the other is just ride around and shoot.
Oh, but circling all the way back to that Italian
Voice acting, yeah.
French mix, this is actually the reason. Like, this is a very recent discovery, right? We're still timing things. But yeah, like, I found out that Italian actually saves time in Dark Beast because, and this is Italian voice acting.
Yep. Saves like
So we
a
didn't know that.
second-ish total. Like, so Italian is like, there's parts where it loses time and parts where it saves time. And this is one of the ones where it saves time, and it saves like a second here, I think.
Yeah, at the
But-
very end, Zelda will like tell you to shoot one more or something. And that is just about a second faster in Italian.
It's really weird, but because like some voice lines take like almost priority over like text, but then other times it's text takes priority over like voice. It's weird. Because like for the first cutscene, I don't know if anybody caught it, Zelda actually gets like cut off if you're on a different voice acting other than like French. Like it'll physically cut her off, and it's kind of funny when you notice it. It's very noticeable in English because she'll literally just like completely get cut off. But it's weird how sometimes you save time from it and other times you don't. But it's just fascinating. And there's still like timing being done. It hasn't really been like too in-depthly timed, but generally like the consensus is this saves about a second. So timing is coming up when I shoot the eye that pops up. It'll be about what, 10 seconds, 7-ish. I don't know. I'll tell you time.
It'll be an explosion.
All right, and time. There we go.
GG.
GG.
Thank you. What was that time, actually? Out of curiosity, I
see it here.
guess I can pull up the stream.
I think it's
It's looking like a 25-10.
25-10?
25-15.
That's honestly, I'm glad that I didn't make too many major mistakes because that's kind of right on pace, actually. So I'm pretty happy with that. Could have gone a little smoother, but honestly, I didn't make too many like insane mistakes. So
No, that was
pretty good.
That a calamity.
That was awesome.
yeah,
That's
that
a
was
win.
really great.
thank you.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was. Thank you. Dang.
Everyone who is hanging out here, thank you very much for chilling with us. Make sure you go follow Korox in the chat. His name's in the chat. You can give that big old follow. Now you're running for world record for this, right? You're
I
going
actually
for it.
got it.
Oh, you got it?
You got it.
Last
Yeah.
Friday,
No.
I got it by 3 frames. So, but
You got it by 3.
okay, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Player 5's run is better. I just have the language thing, the voice acting thing. Like I'm gonna say it, his run is literally just better. But that's the nature
it's
of
like-
time saves.
It's
So
just different.
yeah,
It's just different.
so
I
yeah.
missed that. Well, congratulations. Huge hype in the chat.
Thank
Let's
you.
get some hype in the chat.
Yeah.
Congrats to Korox on world record for this run.
I bet I'll be bopped soon, but it was a good run.
I mean, you worked at it though. You worked at
I did.
it.
I've
watched
been
for like
I've
2-3
been back
days
for like a
straight.
month grinding, or a month or two. I don't even know how long, but yeah.
Pretty
been fun.
incredible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for showcasing this run here
course.
on the preview run or the preview night. Again, why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about what you do on your channel and what they can expect for now that they followed you, because I know everybody in chat did that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
They better
Right?
have done it.
Well, I'm Korox, like the characters from the game, except cooler. I speedrun this game, and I plan on speedrunning a bunch more games. So expect more runs of different games in the future. But basically,
what-
right now, it's
what
just been
games?
this. So I learned Majora's Mask, any percent, no major glitches. I can do runs, I just am lazy. I'm learning Twilight Princess any percent, and that's going to be my baby, I think. That's the thing I'm kind of excited for.
No 2Ds?
I think I'm gonna have-
no top downs.
Well,
no top downs.
Link to the Past seems kind of fun.
That's a fun one.
Not gonna lie.
Minish cap any percent is wacky.
Ooh, Minish.
You
Yeah,
clip
Minish
through the
Cap's
wall
good.
using the ocarina. It's really fun.
Do you? Oh, wait, I haven't
Yeah.
even seen that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
You clip through. It's weird, but
Yeah.
that sounds like a blast. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Thank you again, Korox, and once
of
again,
course.
everybody, please give a huge follow to Korox. And we also got Player 5 here. Player 5, why don't you tell
Yeah.
anybody in chat what you do and what else you got cooking? Because I know you're Tears of the Kingdom, but really just Breath of the Wild, right? You're running the other category.
Yeah, I have been speedrunning Breath of the Wild. I've been doing a lot of 100% speedruns, which are lots and lots of fun.
Speaking of,
30 minutes.
didn't somebody just get like a small PB or something? Like a
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got world record for it just
world
the other day.
Wait, last Friday? Same Friday?
No, not the
okay.
same Friday. It was it was what, yesterday or something?
yesterday morning, I think. Yeah, or today. This morning? Wait, this morning? Was it this?
No, yesterday.
Yeah, but didn't you finish at like 6 a.m. today? Or like
What's that time?
I don't remember.
What,
I don't
what was
even
that? What was the time?
It's so I got a 15:02:16.
Good
I
run.
was gunning for the sub 15
he's gonna get
hour.
the sub 15.
Still, that's
But didn't quite
incredible.
clutch it.
Freaking 15
Crazy.
hour 100% run. Oh my gosh.
Insane.
That's a commitment. So congrats on that. That's crazy. Wow. Well, thank you so much, both of you. I'm very excited to have you both this weekend. Oops, all Zelda weekend starting this Saturday. Once again, thank you so much for hanging out with me here at the preview run. Again, this Saturday, both Koroks and Player 5 will be back doing any percent race here on the GDQ show, here on Oops All Zelda weekend. We got Koroks, we got Liam Max, we got Player 5, and we got Moist Goulash doing any percent run. You won't want to miss that. That's at 5:15 or 5:13 Eastern, 5:13 Eastern this Sunday. All right, that's it for us here. That's it for us here on the Oops All Zelda preview week. Stay tuned this week for the full announcement of what we're